Okay, we have a critical system here. We're in a data center, we want redundancy on this as well. If we look at a traditional type approach, which would be a standalone UPS, okay, we have to allow for the fact that we're putting 200 kVA. We know we're going to be going to 200 kVA, so we have to really put 200 kVA units in. And of course we need to put two of them in for the redundancy. Look, hi, I'm Chris Waring. I'm Sales Manager for Thycon Industrial Proprietary Limited. We're an Australian manufacturer of power control and power quality products, including such things as UPSs, static transfer switches, as well as getting into markets such as rectifiers, inverters, and solid state breakers, high speed fuses and so on. The presentation that we presented today was very much focused on understanding current UPS architectures and how you can actually utilise them and apply them, taking into consideration what flexibility you actually need within your organisation, but also to look at the availability of that system as well. And how you can integrate both of those needs into the one system. The triple bottom line, I guess, is a new means of evaluating a company's performance. It's certainly something that's been talked about within management schools for quite a few years now. And what it really is doing is evaluating or grading a company across more aspects than effectively the profit that they deliver back to their shareholders. The triple bottom line is summarised by the 3 Ps. Profit, obviously, it's extremely important. You need to deliver to the bottom line. The other 2 Ps are planet. Planet, obviously, environmental. So there needs to be, I guess, some focus and some concerns around the environment, and most organisations today are viewed more positively if they actually have a green environmental policy or look at reducing their carbon footprint. The third pillar is people. These days, skilled people are very hard to come by. People want to be an employer of choice or work for an employer of choice. So as an organisation, it's important that decisions are made that will actually help the organisation and the people be more efficient, safer, and potentially happier in their own work environment. With longevity of the product, obviously modular does introduce a new scenario in the ability to hot swap modules and equipment. So it does mean a mean time repair is drastically reduced. One of the concerns, I guess, that we've certainly raised around most modular architectures is the fact that that flexibility is actually reducing the availability of the system, and in fact, delivering your worst PUE to your data center. We've made a deliberate point within the design of the new FlexiPower system to counteract that, with each module being a total separate UPS entity in its own right, therefore able to deliver a true N+1 redundancy type arrangement within a single rack without any single points of failure effectively within that rack. Return on investment's always interesting, isn't it? Because you, at the end of the day, always probably get what you pay for. In investing in a cheap upfront cost infrastructure, you're more than likely going to be paying for that down the track with a heftier maintenance budget, potentially replacement of equipment and so on. We certainly have always taken the approach at Thycon that equipment is built to last and should be built and in there and operating for 15, 20 years without a problem. We very much take to heart that that's the approach that should be taken, both from an environmental point of view. Obviously, you're not disposing or removing equipment, you're actually keeping that on board for a lot longer, so from an environmental perspective it's quite positive. But from a return on investment, you're actually getting, in the order of 20 years investment out of a capital where perhaps other manufacturers, realistically, you're likely to get 10 years. Modular and certainly flexi-power does certainly help and improve reducing your carbon footprint. One, the technology that we've employed within the system is extremely efficient. Even down to loadings at as light as 25%, we can still deliver 94.5% efficiency through our modules. Extremely efficient. But the real winner for a system like modular is that you can actually match your system very closely to your loads. So you could utilize smaller module sizes to achieve 200 kVA and plus one redundant. You only really need 250 kVA of 50 kVA modules to do the same thing. As such, rather than them operating at 50% loading, if you were utilising true standalone 200 kVA units, you're now operating at the 80% mark. Much more efficient, and as such, delivering genuine returns and reducing that carbon footprint. Yeah, look, on operating expenditure, obviously we've already talked about efficiencies and the fact that flexi-power enables you to be that much more efficient from an energy point of view. But we also, with the system now, are quite enabled to reduce your maintenance costs as well. Now, repair of a system can be as simple as a trained site person removing the module and shipping it back to Thycon for it to be repaired. In the meantime, they've replaced that unit with a spare. So the ability to reduce costs from a maintenance point of view is quite significant. If we also look at it from a corporate point of view, now you have the ability to have effectively one module. We can build from 10 kVA to 1 MVA as far as one system goes. We could effectively have one module delivering UPS for your entire corporation. From that point of view, we've got the ability for standardised training as well. No matter where people are, whatever site they're working on, they are aware of that unit, they know how to operate it. It's going to make operations quicker, simpler, and obviously a lot less expensive. From a safety point of view, it can only save costs as well, minimising potential incidents. Yeah, certainly Thycon, we are an Australian company. We're very proud of being an Australian company and continuing to manufacture here. We have started now to build products that we are now looking further abroad. We certainly have to date supplied a small number of systems through the Asian region as well as New Zealand. We are, for Thycon, looking further abroad at this point in time. And yeah, we're actually quite looking forward to the next step of taking our product and Australian made to the world. Yeah, look, if I could perhaps take one takeaway from the presentation, I really probably wanted to get across around the different architectures that are currently available as far as UPSs are concerned. There certainly seems to be a little bit of a misconception in the marketplace that all modular systems are the same, and that certainly is not the case. The main problem with a lot of modular systems is they really are not suited to critical power applications, purely because of the fact that their availability is so easily compromised. So if I was to say one thing, I would ask that people do their homework and truly evaluate the systems that they're looking at. If it is a critical system, they should be looking at this equipment and ensuring that there are not key single points of failure within those systems. But I think overall it's been run very well. There's been some some very interesting selections on the timings of some of the presentations and the way in which some things were done. Just for fun more than anything. So yeah, no, look, I'd have to say overall it's been generally positive. Obviously this is the first time that we have worked with DCS. So it's definitely been a learning exercise for us to work out who you are, how you operate, and what value we can potentially get out of this. Mm-hmm. It's looking fairly positive. Obviously time will tell where all of this will go. So yeah, obviously, hopefully it's been extremely successful. I mean, it's a concept that we're pushing a little bit, that this doesn't have to be in a separate room. It's a bit different. That pretty much looks like what we're going to be standing next to there as well. And it's nice and easy. You can easily see what's going on as far as how you put the DDU system in there as well, as far as what's going on. If it's to a data center with multiple clients, you can certainly look at that and take that. Yeah, it was great. That row, somebody decides, they're taking their business elsewhere or whatever else, big deal. Pull the module out and help it down where this customer's giving us more business and so on. Match the load, so you get to match the loads and your capacity that much better, run at higher efficiencies. So, I did a small scenario presentation this morning. We're only talking small, so we're only talking capacity of this sort of size, and over 5 to 6 years, the power saving was the same value as this unit. Literally, because of the fact, just in the scenario that worked, just in the efficiency gains, so the power and the power to cool, because of the heat losses, actually cost the same as the unit itself. And there was something in the order was well over 500 tonnes of carbon actually reduced just by using this system rather than traditional standalone UPS. They had to go redundant, so both are running at half load, it's highly inefficient. Exactly. We're here, what we're saying, N+1. Because each of these modules is a complete UPS in its own right. Where, look,
N+1, you pull one out.
You pull one out. That's exactly right. Where, I guess, when we brought this out, we're not